You can bring your knees slightly wide and your feet together, resting your hips onto your heels and reaching your arms forward. Rest your forehead down and relax. Breathe gently into your upper back. And allow yourself to feel grounded here. Releasing tension from your mind. Letting go of any emotions. Any sense of clinging. Any attachments you may have at this moment. Just allow yourself to let go and trust and surrender. Notice how this pose makes you feel. Perhaps you have already shifted. Let yourself embrace and soak in this moment of peace and tranquility with yourself. Slowly rise up and come into hands and knees. We'll move our way into cat and cow. As you round your spine, curling your heart up toward the sky, exhale. Inhale to arch your spine, reaching your heart forward toward the wall in front of you. Exhale back to cat pose, arching your heart up to the sky. And then inhale, cow pose, heart reaching forward to the wall in front of you. Continue this pattern, exhaling to cat pose and inhaling to cow pose. As you do this, make sure your low belly is toned slightly so that when you curl your spine, you're not harming your lower back, but actually supporting your spine. See if you can explore each round so that it feels slightly different every time, getting into a new place, a new area of your body. Perhaps moving from side to side or in spirals or circles. Just exploring your spine, creating fluidity, and lubricating the joints. We'll shift into hip circles now, so bring your hips back toward your heels in a slow circle, exhaling your hips toward the heels and inhaling them forward. Continue this in one direction for a few more. And switch the direction. Set the intention to move the energy in your hips, in your sacrum, in the first and second chakras. Make sure you're taking long, deep breaths as you do this. Good. Come back to hands and knees. Bring your hands under your shoulders and inhale your right arm up to the sky. As you exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left for thread the needle, and inhale, reach it back up to the sky once again. We'll do thread the needle a few times. So inhale, reach your arm up, and exhale, bring it under your left arm, twisting the spine. You can do this at your own pace. Make sure that you inhale to lift your arm up and exhale to reach your arm down and under. On this final round here, take a moment with your arm reached under your left and rest, twisting the thoracic spine. You can bring your hands to meet or place your left hand above your head, pressing into the mat and rotating your spine. You can also reach your left arm towards your right inner thigh. Make sure that you are going at the pace of your own body and your own breath, and know that there's always room and space to grow and improve. Bring your left hand, back down to the mat and extend your right arm up to the sky. Come back to center, hands and knees, and inhale the left arm up this time, switching sides. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, lift your left arm up. And exhale, thread the needle. Continue at your own pace, your own breath. You can go slower if you would like. Try not to go any faster, but rather be even more present with each round of breath, noticing the sensation of the air as it comes into your nose and exits your nose as well. Make sure you are sustaining Samavriti, an even inhale and an even exhale through your nose. On this last round, thread the needle and pause here in the twist, either bringing your hands together to touch at the palms, perhaps placing your right fingertips above your head and rotating your spine a little deeper. Or reaching your right arm up above and around to the inner left thigh. Allow your low belly to be engaged slightly here to protect your lumbar, your low back. And let this twist be mostly in the thoracic spine. Inhale, reach your right arm up, bring it down to the mat, and inhale your left arm all the way to the sky. As you exhale, plant your hands back down to the mat, tuck your toes, and lift into a slow downward facing dog, keeping your knees bent, spreading your fingers nice and wide, and stretching your spine long through the center and the sides. With your knees bent, see if you can tilt your hips up to the sky even more. Feel your inner thighs spin back. And know that your heels don't have to touch the ground for this to be a powerful pose, for this to be a powerful downward facing dog. Just simply notice the stretch in your calves and your hamstrings and your shoulders and your back. Make sure that you're rooting through your hands and your feet. Let there be a slight bend in your elbows and press the inner palms down to rotate your upper arms externally slightly. Relax here, taking deep breaths and allowing your low belly to empty completely with each exhale. You can shake out your head here, perhaps bend one knee and then the other, or just be still in this pose. Inhale, reach your right leg up to the sky, bend your knee, and take some slow circles with your hip. You can go in one direction and then the other if you would like. And extend your right leg nice and long, straight up to the sky. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Lift your right toes up, spread them nice and wide. Press down into the four corners of your feet. Feel the strength of this front leg. Engage your back thigh of the left leg. And then pull your right foot back against the mat toward the back edge of your mat. As you pull your left foot forward, so you're scissoring your hips, you're scissoring your legs toward one another. So square off the hips to the front and align your spine as to create the greatest extension and lengthening. Lower your back knee and uncurl your toes. Bring your hands to your hips. Continue the scissoring of the hips as you pull your front leg back and your left leg forward. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Engage your core, your low belly, lift it up. Starting from downward facing dog, lift your right leg up into three-legged dog and begin to make hip circles with your right leg slowly in one direction and then the other if you would like. Bring your right knee towards your chest as you step your right foot down under your shoulders. Press into the floor with your feet, lifting your right toes up and spreading them nice and wide. Feel the four corners of your right foot root and engage your core as you lift your heart forward. Begin to lower your back knee down toward the mat, uncurl your back toes, and bring your hands to your hips. In this low lunge, make sure not to press your hips down too far toward the ground, but rather engage your front leg to pull back toward the back edge of your back, toward the back edge of your mat, and pull your back leg forward toward the front edge of your mat. From this isometric energy, lift your arms up and then lean over toward the right, over your front thigh. This will create a nice long side body stretch in the left side. Inhale, come back to center and bring your hands down to the mat. Curl your back toes under and step into plank. Find downward facing dog and take a breath, spreading your toes and pressing the four corners of your palms into the mat. Lift your tailbone high, and then begin to lift your other leg up to the sky, left leg. Bend your knee and take some circles with this hip. Move nice and slow, allowing the hip joint to be lubricated and to open. As you straighten your leg back up toward the sky, begin to bring your knee toward your chest and step your left foot between your hands. Again, press into the mat with your front foot. Lift your left toes up and spread them nice and wide. Your fingertips are light on the mat. Your back leg is strong. Isometrically pull your left foot back toward the back edge of your mat and your right leg forward. As you engage your core and bring your chest forward, feel a lengthening in your spine. Lower your back knee toward the mat and uncurl your toes, hands to hips. Once again, keep pulling your left foot back isometrically as you pull your right leg forward. This will create engagement in the hips and allow the stretch to be deeper, while protecting your muscles. Reach your arms up to the sky and begin to lean over your left leg, stretching now the right side of your body. Breathe gently into the right side of your body. Your front knee should not be past your ankle, just about a 90-degree angle. Good. Bring your hands down to the mat and step back into plank pose. Make sure your belly is strong, and then press into downward facing dog once again. Root your hands and your fingertips, and then roll forward to plank pose, engaging your core and lifting your heart. Come down to your belly, uncurling your toes and stretching your feet back. Lift into cobra, hands off the floor, and then press down gently into the mat and raise a little bit higher with your chest. Lower your head down. Bring your fingertips wide off the mat and begin to curl your spine up, heart reaching forward, and exhale, lower back down. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, rise up, heart reaches forward. Good. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. Last time. Good. Just creating movement and fluidity in your thoracic spine, in your heart region. Rest into child's pose, bringing your hips to your heels and your forehead to the mat. Breathe here for a few rounds of breath, grounding and rooting your body. Curl up your spine into cat pose on an inhale. Feel that stretch between your shoulder blades as the back of your heart lifts. Good. Exhale, come into cat pose, lifting your chest up, and then find downward facing dog from an arched spine. Slightly bend your knees so your hips can lift higher. Feeling the long line of energy through your spine. Inhale, roll forward to plank pose, and exhale, lower to your belly once again. Take your left arm out to the side at a 90-degree angle. Make sure that your arm is at a 90-degree angle and nothing more or less. As you press your right hand into the mat, you'll roll over your left shoulder, placing your right toes behind you to stretch the front of your left shoulder. You can reach your right arm up to the sky if you would like, or keep your right hand rooted to the ground. Take long, slow breaths here, relaxing into your shoulder and feeling this nice opening. Come back to center and bring your other arm out to the side, right arm at a 90-degree angle. Stretch your left arm back if you would like, placing your left toes behind you as well. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, release slowly, allowing your breath to be soft and calm. Bring your hand back down to the mat, tuck your toes under, and curl back into child's pose once again. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, take some hip circles here. We'll pick up the pace just a tiny bit. Inhale your right leg nice and long. Good. Exhale, bring your right foot forward. This time we'll keep the back knee lifted and then curl your left heel down toward the mat, rising into a warrior two position. Warrior two is good for grounding. It's also opening in the hips. So you should feel a nice stretch in your inner groin and your pelvis. Make sure your right toes are pointed directly forward and your left toes are pointed directly to the side or slightly toward the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Reach your arms long and strong. On an exhale, bring your right forearm to your front thigh and extend your left arm up and over your ear. Turn the pinky side of your left hand down toward the ground to stretch the shoulder a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, reverse your warrior, leaning back over the outstretched left leg. Slowly come back up and cartwheel your hands down. Plant your left hand into the mat and lift your right arm to the sky, breathing here, gently twisting. Make sure your left leg is strong and engaged, and you're aware of not just what's going on in the upper half of your body. Good. Step into plank pose and breathe. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Uncurl the toes and inhale into cobra. You can lift your hands if you would like to make sure you're engaging the proper muscles, and then root down and press a little higher. Lower your forehead to the mat and slowly find child's pose. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, cow pose, and find downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high this time. Bend your knee, open your hip, and circle it out. Inhale, stretch your leg nice and long. And step forward between your hands. Ground your right heel and reach your right arm up to the sky to cartwheel your way up into Warrior Two. Again, make sure your left toes are pointed forward. Your right toes now are pointed to the side. Your front knee should be at a 90-degree angle, just over your front ankle. Take a look at your left knee. If it's pointing in a little bit, see if you can bring it out so that it is in line with your second toe of your front foot. Bring your left forearm down to the mat, down to your thigh, and reach your right arm up and over your head. Press the outside of your right foot into the mat to stretch your side body just a little bit longer. Good. And then you can roll your heart open toward the sky. Inhale, rise up. Reverse your warrior, leaning back now. Exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down to the mat. Plant your right palm down and inhale your left arm open for a twist. Twists are powerful for digestion and tone the belly and the waist. As you engage your back thigh, make sure your leg is strong and step into plank pose once again. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Legs are strong. Exhale, lower to your belly. Uncurl your toes. This time, interlace your hands behind you or bring your hands back towards your sides. With your hands interlaced or reaching back, inhale your chest up for Shalambhasana, locust pose. From here, leave your hips exactly where they are, completely grounded on the earth. They should not move as you do this. Roll over your left shoulder so your right shoulder will move up away from the earth. After a few breaths there, move back to center and go to the other side. Once again, make sure to keep your hips grounded here. So it's just a twist in the thoracic spine and a nice stretch for your deltoids. Relax, coming back to center, bringing one cheek to the earth. Take a moment to notice how your body feels. Perhaps you feel more open or more energized. Clearing the energy channels in your body, you will begin to feel refreshed, clear, and cleansed. You will feel open, and you will connect with your body in a deep way. As you breathe here naturally, allow yourself to be grateful for all of the work that you have put in already, to be with your body, to listen to your breath, and to connect with your heart. Interlace your hands once again. We'll come into full locust pose now. Engage your legs so they reach together, pressing the inseams of your pants toward one another and stretching your toes up and back. Lift your chest and heart forward for a nice back bend. Take as many breaths as you would like here, usually 3 to 5 breaths, before resting down once again. Notice how this pose made your body feel. Continue to observe your breath. Feel free to take that last pose once again, or if you would like a deeper back bend your knees and take a hold of the tops of your feet or ankles. As you hold on to your feet or ankles, engage your core and lift your chest up for bow pose. Make sure your core is strong, your glutes are engaged, and your chest is lifting up. When you're ready, release from this pose and bring your feet down to the mat. Head rests and shoulders come down. Bring your hands back under your shoulders and press into child's pose once again. Inhale to cat pose, arching your spine, and exhale to cow pose. Tuck your toes, lift into downward facing dog, hollowing out your low belly, pressing into the mat with your hands and lowering your heels back and down. Bring your feet about hip width apart now. Walk your hands back so you're in a forward fold. Keep your low belly engaged, pulling in, and bring your weight forward to the balls of your feet. Make sure there's a slight bend in your knee, and you can sway from side to side, holding on to the elbows, or anything else that feels good here. Take deep breaths, cleansing your body, calming your nervous system, and slowing down your heart rate. Bring your hands to the outer shins, bend your knees slightly, and lift your chest up halfway. As you press your hands into the outer shins, you should feel your shoulder blades move down your back so that your heart reaches forward and you have a nice long straight spine. Exhale, forward fold once again. On your next inhale, come up halfway again and bring your hands to your hips. Take a breath here, and then exhale and stand all the way up.